start the recording now, and then I'm gonna share my screen. We'll get going. All right. So yeah, everybody can see my screen, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. all right. So yeah, so this week we're gonna talk a little bit about like the importance of meal prepping, right? And we'll break it down. I don't want you guys to get too overwhelmed. It's not going to necessarily be something like, that you have to do or necessarily like you have to meal prep every single meal or whatever. But we're just going to talk about some useful habits when it comes to being prepared when, with your food and everything. So yeah, we're going to take things from there. So a little bit of an agenda. So we're going to recap last 3 weeks briefly. We're going to talk about why meal prepping matters. And what we're going to start with when it comes to the habit for this week is we're just basically going to focus on meal prepping one meal per week. Okay, so maybe like a breakfast or a lunch, and we're just going to work on nailing that for the week. Finding your flow. So I think that everybody has their own unique system, their own unique flow when it comes to meal prep, kind of based upon like your schedule and how your brain works. Some easy tips and some easy tools to meal prep, and then the objective for this week. All right. So it'll be a little shorter week with the slides, but it's going to be a little bit more interactive this week. So be ready to talk. So yeah, quick little recap. We've obviously gone over this before, but we talked about, just the baseline of everything, right? When it comes to food, satiation really is the baseline when it comes to all these things. And the reason for that is because when we're hungry, we tend to binge, right? So how do we stay in a calorie deficit while not really getting too hungry, right? So the keys for that would be protein and vegetables because these are the most satiating nutrients there are. So we want to eat high protein meals, fill them up with vegetables, fill the plates up with veggies, kind of good to go. Week two, we talked about, eating out, and eating out is going to kind of roll over a little bit into this week as well, because as we know now, there's a lot of hidden calories when it comes to eating out, and it makes it harder to lose weight while you're, consistently eating out. So that's why we're going to kind of rein it all in this week, talking about meal prep a little bit. But obviously, last week we talked about movement, the importance of movement, how to work it into your routine, why, like in a calorie kind of counting way, movement and, burning energy matters. So that's like a quick little recap over the first 3 weeks. All right. So why does meal prep matter? Okay. Um, when you're in control of your food, you know exactly how many calories are going in, how much carbs, how much protein, how much fat, right? It's probably the only situation when it comes to eating that you're going to be in full control. Like I said, when you go out to a restaurant, you don't know what kind of meat what kind of cut of meat you're having. You don't know how much oil, how much butter, you don't know how much the food weighs, right? So you're not really fully in control when it comes to your calories. So, the more in control you can be, the more variables what's going up, what's going down kind of deal. So that's why, I really suggest meal prepping for that. Which also kind of rolls into avoiding hitting calories, right? So when we eat out, like we said, sauces, extra fats, processed carbs, all that. So when you meal prep, you know you're avoiding those kinds of things. It helps you stay on track, obviously, and it makes weight loss simplified, right? We can still make delicious choices when it comes to meal prep, but it helps us stay in track of our weight loss targets. So what I want to do real quick is I just want to talk about kind of my own personal experience, and then I'll ask you guys a little bit when it comes to meal prep and kind of how it helps me and why I'm able to kind of stay on track with meal prep. And then we'll kind of take things from there. But basically, for me, meal prep, meal prep doesn't exactly sound 100% what it is. Okay, so I'm not somebody who like I meal prep. I this is not what I do. I don't, cook all of my 21 meals on a Sunday and have 21 meal prep containers in the fridge Sunday night, and then I'm grabbing and going the whole week. I think if that works for some people, that's great. But for me, what meal prep looks like is, I know if I'm going to be out the house all day, I kind of preemptively make meals maybe the night before, or I wake up a little bit earlier and I get it in for the day, right? So I stay on track. And I always say, like, for me, one of the biggest, most important things for me to be successful, for me to be productive, is for me to feel good physically, right? And I know that if I'm eating out too frequently, I just don't feel as good. My energy lacks, my digestion lacks. I feel bloated. I feel kind of sluggish. So it's important to me as, somebody who's kind of trying to get myself going in the world and, work and train and all this stuff to be on top of that stuff. And I always say, like, that stuff always comes first for me, because I have to set myself up first for success, and then all the other things kind of are able to fall in line after that. So that's kind of just like my real life example of how meal prep helps me. So I kind of want to ask you guys if anybody wants to volunteer, if they have any real life examples of how meal prepping helps them. If you haven't, meal prepped at all in your life ever, that's totally fine. You don't have to give your, you don't have to say anything. But if anybody does have anything, or maybe if even somebody thinks that, like, it could help, and they're curious about how it could help, I'd like to hear you guys share something.
I could definitely go first.
Okay.
I just started meal prepping with my husband a couple weeks ago. We're both doing our own like workout programs, tracking our calories and macros. We obviously have very different like calorie intakes and breakdowns of macros, but we cook basically the same things on Sunday nights or Sunday afternoons, whatever we have available. We just like buy a bunch of stuff for the week, and then we basically make one type of chicken, one type of steak, like we'll do like a different kind of marinade, and then one kind of ground beef or ground turkey. He eats three of those things a day, so he does two lunches and a dinner. So a little bit different from me. I do a breakfast, a lunch, a dinner, and then I kind of just prep my snacks for throughout the day.
Okay.
And then we typically don't have problems with hitting our calories or macros or anything. Last week I was definitely like way out of whack because I was traveling for work from Tuesday to
Yeah.
Thursday. I was home late Thursday night, home Friday. Friday, I was very good with eating. And then Saturday, we took a trip to Virginia to visit his family for his cousin's graduation. And we were in the car collectively between Saturday and Sunday, 14 hours total.
Wow.
Um, so definitely those like quick, easy protein snacks
Yeah.
help, like Quest protein chips kind of helped us stay a little less like hungry throughout the drive. And then if we stopped on the road, we stopped to grab like Chick-fil-A. And
Perfect.
instead of like fries and chicken nuggets, we would do like grilled nuggets. I
Yeah.
did nuggets and a salad. So or the cool wrap, sorry, those are like typically my healthier Chick-fil-A options.
Perfect. Yeah.
And then on the way home we stopped at Chipotle and I just did like grilled chicken, rice, and lettuce, and then just like a sauce on top. So
Yeah. That's excellent.
meal prep is not enjoyable.
Hmm.
It's a lot of work. It's
Okay.
exhausting, but it saves so much time because I used to come home from work every day and cook for the two of us. And now I actually have like time to go on a walk or do a
Yeah.
workout or like I have a little bit more time back
Excellent.
in my nightly routines, which has been really, really nice. So it's hard, but worth it.
I love to hear that. And I think that, yeah, you hit the nail on the head for sure, that it is a little bit of extra effort, but it is worth it in the end because it does actually free up more time in the long run. But I do want to say, obviously, one, excellent job with everything that you just said about, making healthy choices on the go and everything like that. What I find happens with a lot of people is when they're in a situation where, they're out of their comfort zone a little bit, maybe they're on vacation, they're on the road, they're traveling, they aren't sure how to manage. And even if they do good or even if they don't do good, whatever it is, they always try to like make up for it afterwards. And I don't think that's a good thing to do. I don't think any of you guys should necessarily have that mindset. I think just always like stay consistent throughout. So even if you have a bad day or a bad week or bad weekend, just roll right into the next day like like it's a normal day and just get right back to your routine. And you don't have to do extra cardio or, eat any less food. Just kind of like get into it. I'm not saying that's what you did, Erica, but I'm just saying I find that that's like a common theme with people. But I do want to say, Erica, going forward, I hope that by the end of this, you have a couple extra tips for meal prepping because I've been doing it a while myself and I hate cooking. I'm not a chef, but I find that I can get it done pretty quickly with just a few little hacks. So I hope that by the end you can utilize some of those hacks to help make meal prepping a little bit easier.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm looking forward to it.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you for sharing. All right, so we're gonna go next slide. If anybody, oh, sorry, we have someone in the chat too. I don't do, Hanan said, I don't do meal prep. I cook every day or every other day. Yeah, that is fine, Hanan. That is meal prep too, actually. So when I in the first slide, the agenda slide, I said like finding your flow. That's what I mean by finding your flow. So, everybody will have their own unique flow just depending on your schedule, right? So like for Erica, it probably just works out for you that like you have to get it in Sunday or else you don't get it. You might not have that time during the week. Hanan, someone like myself, right? Like I can kind of improvise as I go throughout the week, just because that's how my schedule permits it to be. So, maybe I don't have to go into work early and, on a Tuesday until 3 p.m. So like there's no need, for me to meal prep for Monday and Tuesday. I might just need a meal prep for Monday and then I know Tuesday I can cook my food fresh. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my own unique schedule, right? So that is, yeah, that's still kind of considered meal prep. Eat, that's what meal prep isn't necessarily like, oh, I cook all my food Sunday and I have it for the week. It's just essentially like having food that you're gonna eat, like cooked at home, pretty much is what I would consider meal prep. Even if you come home, you make a healthy dinner, that's fine. That's that's meal prep in my eyes, more or less. Um, but thank you, Hanan, for sharing as well. Okay, so yeah, start small, one meal per week. So, kind of like the objective for this week is to just pick one time throughout the day that you often struggle to make good choices. So a lot of people here, like we said, we're working people, we're out during the day. Typically lunch is kind of that meal where maybe we struggle to, get in a good meal because maybe we're at work, we're in the office, we're on the go, we're in the car. But if we have a meal prepped, right, then you kind of have no choice but to eat that meal. That's just typically what I find with people. Again, everybody's different, but typically speaking, we can pretty easily grab a pretty good quick breakfast, just a couple like hard-boiled eggs, some fruit, you're probably okay. And then most people, if you don't order out, most people cook dinner, right? They come home, they cook a nice meal with their family or whoever. And obviously now with the course, we're gonna cook a high protein, high veggie meal for dinner. But yeah, so like typically like lunch is what I find is like that one meal people tend to fall off sometimes, but it could be breakfast, it could be dinner, whatever works for you. The goal this week is we just want to kind of choose one meal throughout the week that we can pick and see which and meal prep for it. All right. Um so, okay, so I'll give you an example of like a pretty typical lunch for me. And yeah, and we'll kind of go around. We'll get some volunteers to say like what their lunch is and if it's like meal preppable, So for me, I'm a big chicken and rice guy for lunch. Just think, chicken, it's kind of light, middle of the day. The rice is easy. So what I do is I just, kind of I have a rice cooker at home. I put rice in the rice cooker the night before, and then I just air fry some chicken. I season it, I throw it in, and it's pretty much good to go. If I want some vegetables, I actually have a slow cooker, so I could throw the chicken in with the vegetables in the slow cooker overnight with the rice, and then I wake up, my meal's ready. That's my lunch for the day. I just throw the rice and the chicken with the veggies in, and then I'm good to go. So that's kind of like the lunch that I have most of the time. If I'm in a pinch, Erica, you brought up Chipotle. It's a pretty good option for people in a pinch because it's clean ingredients. It's chicken, rice, whatever. So yeah. I'm just gonna call on some people, kind of see like what their typical like meal prep lunch would be per se. Um, Alexa, what are some of your go-to lunches?
Usually if my parents cook dinner, I'll bring whatever left over for lunch the next
Okay.
day.
Okay.
Or I'll have like a yogurt bowl that I'll make the night before. Something like quick, but also that will fill me up.
Yeah, that's fine. That's perfect.
Yeah, I usually don't eat out for lunch.
Perfect. Yeah. So leftovers are, they're excellent. Obviously, so long as, what you
Yeah,
had
like
before is good.
usually if they always make like a protein and then like they'll either make rice or pasta, but I just have a salad with it. So I'll just bring leftover salad, leftover steak, put it in a Tupperware, and then I'll have it the next day.
All right. Excellent. I love it. That's perfect. Erica, you've been meal prepping. What do you have for lunch?
My lunches lately have been like either ground beef, rice, and vegetables or a salad. Today I actually had a sheet pan chicken fajita that I made. Which I've been making this for like about a month now, but this batch was like the best I've made so far. Typically just to keep it quick, I buy already cut up chicken and
Yeah.
sliced bell peppers. And
Hmm.
then I just put a little olive oil, chicken fajita seasoning, and mix it all up. I bake it in the oven on a sheet pan for 20 minutes on 425. And
Yeah.
like I could just clean up the kitchen as it's
Perfect.
cooking and then it's done.
Yeah.
And I usually do like jasmine rice with it. Sometimes I'll do potatoes if like I'm getting a little
Yeah.
good with
Little bit or
rice.
whatever. Yeah. That's fine.
But that's mainly like my go-tos. I usually just try to do the same kind of proteins like ground beef, ground turkey, or chicken, and then just change up like the marinade or the seasoning so I don't get too bored of it.
Perfect. Perfect. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but Alexa, you see that notification? The meeting will end in 10. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, should I resend the link, you think? Or how do I?
Yeah, I guess it's because
Yeah, I
like
don't have the
we're not
plus.
on Nino's thing.
Okay, let me.
It's fine. I'll keep going, and then you can create another link,
Okay.
and then we'll rejoin. Sorry for that, guys. I
No,
just
it's okay. I'm sorry.
no, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Okay, Jess. Where's Jess? Just not here. Is Heidi? Heidi?
I'm here.
What are some lunches that you enjoy during the week?
I am like a huge salad person. I literally eat salad every single day for lunch.
Okay.
And I mix it up like sometimes instead of putting like meat in it, I'll throw in like chickpeas or kidney beans. Um, I'll do like a taco salad with 99% fat-free ground turkey. I'm a huge vegetable person, so I eat a lot of salads.
Okay.
So that's mainly my lunches. And then I always do dinner wise, like tonight, and this is sort of kind of my norm, like when it gets nice out. On Mondays, I'll always grill up a ton of chicken cutlets
Perfect.
and um, sometimes I'll throw like, steak on there, but tonight I did a bunch of chicken cutlets and a bunch of different vegetables. And then that's just ready for the week.
Yeah. That's
Um, but if you were bringing something up before about like meal prepping for when like times that you struggle with things.
Mm-hmm.
And I started doing this, I don't know, I saw it on TikTok and I started
Okay.
doing it probably about 3 months ago. And it's like the best thing ever. But I take like Premier Protein,
Okay.
the shakes,
Yeah.
and I make instant sugar-free pudding with it.
Yeah.
and I just put them in 8-ounce like ramekins with lids. So at night, when I really want something sweet, I'm having this pudding, but it's still 30 grams of protein or 15 grams of
It's
protein.
the best, right?
Yeah, it's super simple and easy. And I'm a big fan of the vanilla Greek yogurt that's
Mm-hmm.
fat free, but
Yes,
I will
yes.
mix that with chia seeds and I'll do that with chia pudding and I'll eat that for breakfast a lot of times and I'll just throw some berries on it.
Excellent. I love it. I love it. Yeah, those are the best kind of hacks. The like the high protein desserts. They really, really do get the job done. One thing actually that's not in this slide, I'm gonna bring it up now when it comes to desserts and keeping it high protein because I'm not afraid to admit it. I have a sweet tooth myself. I think everybody kind of has a little bit of a sweet tooth. If you guys look into buying something called, so everybody's familiar with the company Ninja, they make like blenders and everything like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's something called a Ninja Creamy. So essentially it's an ice cream maker, okay? But all you need to do is take like any liquid base, if you do milk or like fat-free milk or skim milk, it tastes a little bit better than just water, but it would work with water. Some sort of liquid base and protein powder, and you just kind of blend it up and freeze it overnight. And it literally just takes that and it turns it into straight ice cream. And I promise you, it tastes so good. And then you can dress it up after that too. So before you freeze it, if you throw in some like sugar-free pudding, just to kind of give it a little bit more texture, and then you can even throw like some toppings in or whatever. It's like the best thing in the world. It's all over TikTok too if you want to search it up, Ninja Creamy. It's so worth it because you can literally eat legit like protein ice cream, but not like crappy protein ice cream, like real tasting ice cream that just has protein in it. It's such a good investment. I would really recommend that too, if you guys have ever heard of that. But
I do it with my regular Ninja John.
oh, you do?
Yeah, and it
Oh,
actually comes out really good. It's not, yeah, it's more like a I'll do it with a Greek yogurt base,
okay.
but I'll make it and I throw it in the freezer and it does come out like a frozen yogurt.
It's okay. All right, cool. Yeah. That's excellent. I love that. That's really, really good. Um, so that's perfect. Erica also said that yeah, she has a Ninja Creamy too. She hasn't used it yet. Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely put some recipes in the Facebook group for you this week. But if you're on TikTok, just search like Ninja Creamy protein recipes. There's a bunch. There's a million. And the one Heidi said actually, that's a good you can use that same base and just freeze it and it'll make it same thing too.
Perfect. That's the one thing I really miss, ice cream.
Well, oh yeah, you have the Ninja Creamy. Go for it. Yeah, Hanan said yes, please. Yeah. So I'll definitely throw that in for you guys. I will put in some high protein ice cream recipes in for you guys this week. Cool. All right, so what we'll do real quick because I got like 4 minutes left. We'll do this slide real quick and then we'll log out. Alexa, you posted another link in the Facebook group.
I couldn't post one yet because this meeting was still going on.
Okay.
Once you finish this slide, I'll create a new one and send it over right away.
All right, so you want to just is it okay if we all do that now?
I have a premium like Zoom account. If you guys want, I can drop a link in the chat. You could use
Yeah,
mine.
thank you. I appreciate that. I would
Yeah,
really
no
appreciate
problem.
that. Yeah, thank you so much.
Sorry
All right.
about that.
No, no, no. It's nobody's fault. So just real quick, we'll leave. Just refresh the Facebook group. Erica will post a link and then we'll all join in there. Thank you guys.
Thank you.